It's time to take that title off Jon Moxley, guys. What's up, everybody? It's HBT with Straight Up Wrestling Show, guys. Here live, man, just to talk a little bit about AEW, talk a little bit about wrestling, talk about a few things that I see going on. We are in the new year, 2025. Guys, Chris and I, we really haven't been on. Man, hey, both of us been sick a little bit. He's been working a good bit. I have just been trying to fight off this cold, so that's been my work pretty much. But, man, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Jon Moxley a little bit, man. AEW, I definitely want to see AEW succeed here in the new year. AEW is now on Max. So AEW is on Max, and they have some of their content on Max. AEW wrestling in the smaller arenas are making the impact of the arenas look a lot better. The impact of the shows look a lot better. So I think it's good that they're wrestling in different arenas. But, man, we need to address the number one thing that's going on in AEW. I know the number one thing is the booking, and that's Tony Khan. But let's go ahead and go to the top after Tony Khan, and let's talk about the World Heavyweight Champion. Their World Heavyweight Champion is Jon Moxley. Now, I did start watching now. I have not watched a lot of it at all. I just started watching Wednesday night's Dynamite. I think that was on the first. So I just now started watching that, and I like how it started off. I'm checking everything out. And then Jon Moxley come out, and he talked a little bit with his faction and everything, and they are pretty much going through a little rant and talking about, how they're going to dominate, and they're tired of certain things, and they're going to dominate here in the upcoming year. And it's basically Jon Moxley, and Jon Moxley talking about, getting that edge with Adam Copeland, getting that Adam Copeland, and that's a feud that goes back years and years back to the old company that they were in. And he's talking about, getting that edge. He knows Edge, and basically pretty much went ahead and did his tough boy act and everything, and pretty much put it out there that he was ready for Edge, and he's the tougher one that's going to be in this feud and everything. So he's ready for Edge and anything else that comes his way as the world champion here in AEW. Pretty much basically what Jon Moxley was doing was saying, hey, he's ready to fight. But, man, hey, watching him over lots of weeks, guys, watching him over the months as the world champion, and when he didn't have the world championship. One thing that I see in Jon Moxley, is not saying that Jon Moxley doesn't deserve the world heavyweight championship or he's not world championship caliber, because he definitely is. He's definitely world championship caliber. But one thing about him, he just does not come off as that world champion. He does not come off as a world champion right now, and his faction does not come off as the dominant faction in the world as a world, as far as a world championship status wrestling company. That faction just don't come off like that to me. Now, as Blackpool Combat Club at one time they did, they pretty much was attacking everybody, getting out there and, beating tails and taking names, doing what they wanted to do. So, I mean, at one time it was working. Now they have changed that name to Rough Riders or whatever they done changed it to. I'm not exactly sure. Excuse me, guys. That's one thing I've been trying to get over is that cold. Get over the cough and everything, the remnants of that nasty flu virus that's gotten a hold of a lot of people here in the country. But look, guys, one thing about his faction, they look mediocre to me. It's still look like a strong faction, but maybe at a C+ level. And that's what Jon Moxley looks like to me as a world champion. He looks like a C+ world champion. And for AEW, especially AEW, their world champion has to look stronger than the WWE world champion. He has to look like a stronger champion than Cody Rhodes. And yes, a lot of that comes with booking. Tony Khan has to get his booking right and everything. You have to put the right opponents in front of Jon Moxley so he can knock him down and make him legitimize his championship reign and make him look even greater. But one thing about Jon Moxley, I think the way that he carries himself and the way he puts himself in front of his his comeback club or whatever you want to call it, riders or whatever you want to call it, rough riders or whatever it is right now. The way he presents himself as a, I don't even know what word to really describe it, but he just presents himself as an average, a little bit above average fighter, somebody that's going to fight rough, that likes to get out there and just knock down, drag down, and fight. And hey, whatever happens, I'm going to brutalize you, you brutalize me. If we go into a bar, it's going to be a bar fight. We're going to be pretty much popping bottles over each other's head. We're going to hit each other with pool sticks or whatever is available. We're going to hit each other with lounge chairs, bar stools, or whatever that we can get our hands on, and we're going to rough each other up all the way out of the door in a bar. That's the way that Jon Moxley comes off to me. He is coming off to me in that manner. And, as a wrestling fan, as a fan who's been watching basically 50 plus years, that's just the way it comes off to me, and it just don't look good, guys, straight up. Man, Jon Moxley, I'm not saying that he has to come out there in a suit. He doesn't have to look like the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Doesn't even have to come out and look like Terry Funk when Terry Funk was world champion, or come out and look like Hulk Hogan or anything. But they have got to do something with his character to where he comes out and looks like a world champion, and that he's going to come in, win his matches, take his matches, and he's going to walk out as a world champion and walk out with the respect and the dignity of a world champion, and just be dominant in the ring. And like I said, and pretty much take his stroll back to the dressing room, hey, victorious with their World Heavyweight Championship. They are going to have to figure that out, guys. He is going to have to be presented as a world champion. He's going to have to look better than Kenny Omega was as the world champion. Right now, it's essential for him to do that. But in my opinion, he's not championship caliber. It doesn't look like, he might be championship caliber, but maybe for that third singles title right now. Maybe the third singles title. He does not look like a world heavyweight champion. And, I hate to say that, because I definitely want him to look like the world champion. And he has the ability to be the world champion. He's better, probably better than everybody there as far as overall, when you look at the overall picture of a wrestler. Not saying that he has the best skill set of anybody there, technically. But when you look at his brawling style and everything that he puts into it, he definitely can be. The guy can, he can rock the mic. He can get on the mic and pretty much make his statements, and he can make you believe what he's saying is real. But he can also turn you off. And that's one thing that's been evident with the ratings. And that's been months and months over time, that every time Jon Moxley comes on the TV, people turn it off. Fans walk away. They go get a soda out of the refrigerator. They go to the bathroom, or they go and get some chips or whatever, or they lay down and see what else might be on TV and then come back. But that's been evident, guys. It's been happening. So one thing that they need to work on here in the upcoming year, and this year right here, the year's already here, 2025, is establishing Jon Moxley in that role, establishing him as the world champion, where everybody knows he's a world champion, and he gets the respect from not just the fans, but every wrestler in the organization, every announcer, every referee, everybody, all the way down to the guys that put together the ring, all the way to the guys that sweep the floor when they leave the arenas at night. He needs to get respect from everybody as the world champion. He needs to look like the world champion from head to toe, guys. From head to toe. Everything that he does, it needs to ooze world championship. Hey, he is the world champion. Straight up, guys. Straight up. But, hey, like I said, I do like what they're doing as far as Tony Khan. That was a great decision to go into the smaller arenas and everything. But, yeah, they definitely, first thing they need to do is get their world champion in the right space. And the booking got to be correct. And you don't have to put Orange Cassidy out there working your first match all the time. He worked Adam Page in the first match. Adam Page dominated him in that matchup. But man, I look at Orange Cassidy and I'm like, wow. I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, should he be a leader of a faction? Should he be in these single matches here in early 2025? I think you need to put this guy in a tag team. Find him a tag team partner. Don't have a faction around him. Just him and a tag team partner. And, maybe call them the Orange Crush Brothers or whatever you want to do. Orange Pack or whatever. But these two guys need to team up because I think Orange Cassidy, with his size and the things that he can do, how he wrestle in open spaces and everything, I think he will be great as far as a tag team partner. And it will be a lot more believable in the things that he will be able to do as a tag team partner, guys. There's that cough again, guys. Definitely got to get rid of that.